This is the future.
Before we proceed to the video, I would just like to announce that I am giving away some free Platinum Core Artist of Digital Extremes. To enter the giveaway, simply check out the link at the video description below. This is open to all platform and I will announce the winner on my Twitch channel. Thank you so much and good luck to all of you. Warframe is 10 years old now, and there are tons of contents that the game has to offer. Some of the content are nice, but some are the most hated ones by the community. Now, there are mixed opinions regarding this topic, and before even starting the video, I'll need to say first that this topic is subjective and based on my personal opinion playing Warframe for years. You might have a different opinion, so let us know in the comment section below. Anyway, topics like this has no wrong answer and feel free to express what you hate and love about Warframe. First, let's talk about the most obvious, the Helminth system. This system was introduced during Heart of Deimos update and has become the staple of Warframe builds right now. Many believed that this system is a junk, since it will deteriorate, or probably remove the authenticity of a Warframe. However, Digital Extremes did set a limit of just subsuming one ability, and to be fair, they did not go overboard by going with one ability, and most of these subsumable abilities are not the strongest for a Warframe, but this not so strong abilities were so busted when subsumed to another Warframe, to the point that the Helminth Warframe became meta in a specific mission. Just the subsumability filled what's lacking into the Warframe. Build diversity was achieved with the Helminth system, but the fear of many began to show itself as soon as players started to use Helminth builds for meta rather than just trusting a Warframe for its unique ability to finish a mission. Just take for example Sarin. Instead of the usual Sarin Spore build for Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, many are finding Thermal Sunder Garuda right now as the best nuker in the game mode. The same goes with Hydran leveling. Fast Speed Nova lost its worth after Thermal Sunder Garuda came. And many other Warframes lost their purpose when other Warframes finally got the ability that is missing on their kit to be effective in specific missions. The authenticity of a Warframe was lost, and right now, it seems that Helminth builds are pretty staple. Nobody complains right now for too long that a Warframe is weak during release and needs some changes because players themselves can change the Warframe, or rework the Warframe with the Helminth system. It's a genius move from Digital Extremes to be honest, but I'm hoping that they don't get too confident about it since it will lead to their downfall once they will just create new Warframes which powers are inspired by old Warframes, and they don't show anything new at all. The Helminth system is truly in that spot wherein players love it and they also hate it. It does bring out build diversity, making non-meta Warframe actually fun to play with, and there are Warframe abilities such as Silence that is very important right now when it comes to leveling Warframe solo. Hell, even Thermal Sunder Nuke is also a good leveling method in Sanctuary Onslaught, and every time Digital Extremes releases a new Warframe, the Helminth system will have more power. While Digital Extremes are finding more ways to increase the power fantasy of this game, and the recent was adding the Argent Shards to further increase the power level of our Warframes, but still, it's not like the Helminth system. The Helminth system totally changes the power mechanic of the game, and I'm one of those players who benefit a lot from it. Moving on, let's talk about meta in Warframe. The fact is, there are times you really love playing the meta but then gets bored and complain about the meta. I do that sometime, and in a live service like Warframe, nerfs and buffs are expected, since this is a way to shift to a new meta in the game. Love it or hate it, Warframe is built this way and you can expect that there will be no meta that will last forever in this game. A very good example about this is the nuke meta. Players will loving the Kuva Brahma with Wukong, and all the meta that completely obliterates a crowd of enemies with one shot. But then, this meta became stale, and players were bored about it that many started complaining that it's ruining the game. To be honest, it's really ruining the game, and this is why the nerf to the nuke meta was warranted. The same happens in the past, wherein players was just using Nariman Shadow Step and the red Creditor Axe in all Warframes. Players say fuck armor, fuck damage reduction or invulnerability. We got infinite invisibility with Nariman Focus while red critting with the Atarax, so I'll just use this in all mission. This started to make the game stale that Digital Extremes brought out the nerf hammer. I think the nerf to the Nariman Shadow Step was a very good decision and only a small percentage of the community complained about it. However, the nuke meta was different and many did review bomb Warframe on Steam because of the nuke meta. This is because the developer did not just fuck up the nuke meta, but with the changes to the ammunition. They also fuck up other weapons in the game such as beam weapons. The ammunition nerf was targeted obviously for the nuke meta, but DE seems to hid it away by adding other weapons into the mix. Little do they know that this will backfire and cost angry keyboard warriors typing their hearts out in the Steam review page of Warframe. Right now, we are shifting yet to another meta, which is the pet immortality and shield meta for survivability. All the things we saw during Dev Stream 173 were just all placeholders and might change before release, but we can expect that shields will be widely used as a tool for survivability after the Abyss of Dagath update. Also, the pet immortality will play a big role and somehow, this will add more power to players' Warframe combos. Honestly, the nerfs and buffs in the game is necessary to create a new meta. It will last for months, or even years, but again, don't expect a meta to be forever in Warframe. Speaking of the upcoming shield buff, I'm really curious on what will people say now that shields and shield gating will be getting a better version after Abyss of Dagath update. There are players telling that shield gating is a menace and it ruins the game as you are only depending on the invulnerability now to survive in Warframe. It's hilarious to be honest. These people are complaining too much because if they don't like shield gating, then just don't shield gating set up in your Warframe. While I do understand that you guys would want to give a fair chance for damage reduction in the game to be a good source of survivability also, but, admit it or not, you can't take damage reduction in higher level enemies. Something that will reduce the damage taken will not be greater than something that gives you invulnerability to damage. Invisibility and invulnerability are always seen as the best form of survivability in the game, with the latter being the best. However, I can't argue with the fact that with invulnerability being thrown everywhere, Warframe will be a lot easier than before. It's like the developer is making an easy game super easy before, and now, with the upcoming rework on shield gating, they are making Warframe extremely easy. But then again, for you to attain such power, then you must progress through a lot of missions and farm the mods you needed before you can achieve the immortality of the shield gating mechanic. Also, the setup requires you to either tap into the Helminth system with Pillage or Condemn, or use the Catalyzing Shield mod, then pair it with a Warframe that can spam abilities while using the Augur mod set bonus, or the Brief Respitora mod. Still, it's not easily achievable, especially if you are new to the game. And lastly, let's talk about Duviri Paradox. Now, I planned to just talk about the randomizer of the Duviri Paradox missions, but Duviri has lots of problems that players hate, that I decided to talk about it in general. Don't get me wrong, Duviri Paradox was a brilliant idea at first. I mean, this is totally different from the past open world updates. While it's also an open world, but it deviates to the usual open world made by Digital Extremes. It's roguelike open world with the ability to give you increased power every time you perform a task, and it's an open world exclusive for drifter gameplay. You can ride horse, and perform tasks using your operator, and the decree system is really fun. If you want to use Warframes, then you'll need to dive into Duviri Circuit, and before the start of each mission, you will be in a hub wherein you will pick your weapons. Only this time, you can't actually pick a weapon of your choice, but it's totally random. At first few weeks, few months, Duviri Paradox was very fun to play with. The degree system, the power creep, the rewards, and how you can get into level cap fast with Duviri Circuit are very fun to play with. Players also love the ROM boss fight because it's not locked to players that have specific items, just like the Eidolon hunts. You can play the boss fight and have fun with your friends. The rewards are also great since the Incarnon system upgrades your mastery rank fodder weapons into something crazy, but, after a couple of months, I lost my desire to dive into the Duviri Paradox because I felt like it's out of place in the Warframe universe. It's like a different game that was included in Warframe. After getting the rewards and experiencing the Duviri missions for a couple of months, I ended up doing the same shit again in Warframe, which is farming for platinum and doing all the chores in start chart and open world areas to increase my platinum gain. Apparently I always fail on this because once I get platinum, then I spend it on builds with all the former I buy from the market. In Duviri Paradox, you will get Incarnon weapons, and also arcanes you can sell for platinum. But, There are other missions that can give you more, such as the Zariman bounties. You can get arcanes, then you can get the strongest original in-canon weapons, then you also get some resources used for the helm and some endo standings which you can exchange for other stuff and relic packs, and all the other rewards that you get from playing the game, while not taking away the most crucial part of the game, which are the Warframes. In fact, I was glad that Digital Extremes made the new in-canon purchasable with Platinum. I'm not saying that it's good for all, since it looks like a predatory monetization scam for some, but honestly, I got tired of grinding due very paradox that I would want to just purchase those new in-canon rewards with Platinum. It's easier to get Platinum when you are actually playing with Warframes that you handpick, compared to diving into Duviri circuit and praying that your team at least have a good Warframe that will make your run longer and complete all the tier rewards. Honestly, these are just a few things in Warframe that players have a hate and love relationship with, and I would like to know your thoughts and opinion on the things you love and hate about Warframe at the moment. Let me know in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.